what time it is. You know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, first of all, it's called the Red River Shootout. That means the river runs red. You thought it was going to be different? I try to tell y'all. Look here. Oklahoma ain't played nobody. That's what they told us. That's what they said. We ain't played nobody. SMU ain't nobody. Tulsa ain't nobody. Arkansas State ain't nobody. Cincinnati ain't nobody. But you know what? OU Texas, we were going to get what was coming to us. Remember? Because, Texas went into Tuscaloosa, beat the number 3 team in the country, got the W, feeling themselves, running fake punts. Jonathan Brooks out there just running. Hey, Texas had a 300-yard passer, a 300-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver, an outstanding defense, and yet it's Oklahoma 34-30. Now, among these things, right, learned a lot in this game about Oklahoma, but not the least of which is, if you hear me saying don't mind Oklahoma, you know what I mean. I got people that was listening to the preview last week talking about you picked Texas. Yeah, I did. Did you hear me when I picked Texas? I got homies. Brad Penny reached out to me earlier today going, hey, RJ, what's it going to take for Oklahoma to get a W here? I said they need 2 more turnovers than Texas to win, which is about what we got because Oklahoma got 2 interceptions of Quinn Ewers and forced that fumble out of him. That's 3 turnovers from Quinn Ewers. That's 12 interceptions in the last 3 games. Oklahoma's defense came to play, but it's really that dude at quarterback that has, my goodness, this play to win it is one thing. Capping it off, Nick Anderson, who is immortal now, always coming on, basically since the Tulsa game, has decided to be a touchdown machine. But you're thinking Oklahoma leads this game by 10 in the third quarter, 27-17, and everything's going fine until they start to sputter. And Texas starts to pick up some momentum. You get the missed field goal from Zach Schmidt. You get Matauer going down with the injury. I hope to see him again this season. It's not looking good. You're getting to see Oklahoma finally starting to show a little crack, little weakness. Jonathan Brooks getting anything he wants. Adonai Mitchell, Jatavion Sanders, they out there doing the damn thing. Then Texas, they get there. They take a lead. But they left this offense too much time on the clock. And in winning time, I got to see the Dillon Gabriel that we all expected to see last year. In winning time, I got to see Dillon Gabriel needing to go get us some points. We needed 3. He said, I'm going to go get you 6. And I'm going to do it in the game that matters the most to Oklahoma fans. And I'm going to do it as the clock is still running. Didn't spike the football before the goal line. Took his time, let the route develop, and found Nick Anderson in the corner of an end zone to win it. Now, Oklahoma is 6-0 a year after going 6-7. We're going to do my top 25 tomorrow, but I would not be shocked to tell you that Oklahoma is very much in the driver's seat for the Big 12, which means they're very much in the driver's seat for a college football playoff spot. You saw it. This game was acting like a college football playoff play-in game. Those were the stakes. Biggest game for OU or Texas at OU, Texas since 2008, when those 2 teams were playing for a spot in the national championship. Now, this is not to say Texas ain't a good football team. It's a great football team. It's an outstanding football team with outstanding coaches who can hold this L. Right? Because Oklahoma, after getting this one, you got to expect them to be marching toward that playoff spot. But when 2008, the thing to remember is Oklahoma lost that game to Texas. And then Texas had to watch Oklahoma play in the BCS title game. Now we got the playoff now. We got human beings making these decisions as opposed to a computer and its arithmetic. But you get my point here. You got to keep it going. But if you hear Oklahoma fans talking to y'all Texas fans, like Jordan Poole was talking to Draymond Green, calling him an expensive backpack for 30, you know why we on your head. We know, you know why we on your head. Okay? And we on your head because you were giving it up, baby. Dillon Gabriel was 285 through the air, 2 TDs, 113 yards on the ground. My goodness, running through the Texas defense like jalapeno laced chili. operating against the Texas defense like John Wick in the Continental. Jalil Farouk out there making plays, baby. Drake Stoops making plays, baby. And let me back up here. And again, genuflect to the defense, because if you're an Oklahoma fan, this is the kind of defensive performance that you wanted. Yes, they gave up 30, but they gave up 30 to one of the best teams in the country after giving up 30 on average last year. Outstanding play from Danny Stutzman. Outstanding play from Rondell Bothroyd. And you know what? With their back against the wall and Oklahoma backed up as Texas got 4 down, punch it in. You know what we saw? We got to see the defense that we have known to be synonymous with Brent Venables for damn near 25 years. Those boys did not let Texas pass. Gandalf at the goal line. Trying to tell y'all. Look here, Gentry Williams. He's a Tulsa boy, and them Tulsa boys absolutely smacked, right? Had that pick. But the other thing to remember here is Billy Bowman's played out of his mind. And the true freshman, Peyton Bowen, holy smokes, out there like the wrath of Brandon Everidge with the stick, baby. And remember, he's had 2 blocked punts this year. But you know what? Texas blocked a punt. We thought we was in it. And then they said, no. I'm getting text messages going, hey, Oklahoma looks pretty good. I'm saying, don't talk to me. And you know what? I'm speaking for Texas fans who also said, I said, don't talk to me. Because this game gets under your skin if you are neutral. Imagine what it's like to be the fan of either one of those teams. Because you really want to win, but it's more about the relief of winning. Because you understand the losing's really just going to suck so much more. So much of the season is defined by this game, not just by who wins it, but what happens going on. Like, Oklahoma's going into a bye week this week. You know how hard it would be to go into a bye week after taking a loss in this game, in this atmosphere, with these stakes? I don't know how Texas is going to come back, but you know what? I expect them to. For those that are predicting a rematch on December 2nd, it's really difficult not to. Now, Kansas took an L to Texas, and Oklahoma still got to get past Kansas, but my goodness, it feels like these two teams are the class of the Big 12 right now. And because the SEC is not as dominant as it's been in years past, because the Pac-12 is climbing, and because the Big 10, particularly the Big 10 East, is still the Big 10 East, you feel like there's a way for them in there, regardless of what Florida State might do in the ACC. But again, I guess got to point out, man, Oklahoma's defense being an immovable object. I just didn't see that. I don't think anybody saw that coming into this season. You know, I know the stats like you know the stats. And I had to hear people say offense is sus, RJ. The defense is okay, RJ. You played a soft schedule. You ain't played nobody. It's a cupcake schedule. You know who first taught me that it don't matter what your schedule matters, but like what's on your schedule? You know why I don't brook that one anymore? It's because I got burned by it last year. I said Michigan ain't played nobody, and they hadn't. You know what happened to Michigan? They ran through the Big Ten. They ran through the Big Ten like bad Taco Bell through your stomach. It doesn't matter. If you're good, you're good. But these games are the moments when you have to prove it. Like, it's one thing for Michigan to run through their schedule. It's another thing for them to beat Ohio State. It's one thing for Oklahoma to run through its schedule. It's another to beat the best Texas football team that anybody has seen since 2009 when they played Alabama for the national championship. But I learned so much about these guys. Not just guys we knew something about, like Danny Stutzman, who was probably a front runner to win the Butkus Award, but guys that hadn't played Oklahoma football before, guys like Dason McCullough, guys like Rondell Bothroyd, guys that you really got. Dillon Gabriel didn't get to play in this game last year. This was probably his last shot to be immortal in this game. And to see how infectious this game is for folks that are getting into it for the first time. Guys like Adonai Mitchell on the other side. Man, you gotta get up for it. And for those dudes to show the kind of heart that they did in this game and that atmosphere means the world to Oklahoma fans and to Texas fans who are acquitted very well. You have nothing to be ashamed of, Texas fans. That was a great football game. You just didn't come up with the win this time. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to be on your head, but respect to you. I'm also learning that Oklahoma has that thing, or has that player that can really get it back to where it was in 2019. USC has a great player on a great team, Caleb Williams. We'll talk about Ohio State. They got a great player on a great team in Marvin Harrison Jr. But to see that Dillon Gabriel has become that guy for the Sooners means the world. And not just because he's healthy this year, because, Davis Beville ain't back there by himself. A dude named Jackson Arnold is going to let the SEC know what Oklahoma's about. But to understand that if he has the ball in winning time, we have a chance to win and we can expect to win. That's all you can ask for from an Oklahoma offense. Again, man, I keep looking at this game and I'm amazed by it. I hadn't been this fired up about OU Texas since 2021, frankly, right? When Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley were on the sideline. And it felt like it's going to take a little bit longer for Oklahoma to get back to this stage, to get back to this moment, let alone to capitalize on it. And here we are, less than a year after 6-7, after losing to Florida State in the Cheez Bowl. Could see Florida State in the college football playoff if things keep going as they are. I'm not going to say that Texas can't win a national championship. I'm not going to do that. I am going to say that the Cinderella story is over. Tragic. But that Cinderella story is in a casket. All right? I told you if you came back here on Saturday night, I'm going to get my money right, and you're going to hear from me. Okay? Today was the day to pull out the 14-karat gold chain, the Eagle Scout ring, and the Boulevard. Okay? It's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio listening to a Texas fan out there hollering my name when last year I spent more money on spilled liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You talking to the Eagle Scout ring wearing, Boulevard wearing, gold chain wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time holding these horns down. You know what time it is. Oklahoma, baby.